Coach Larro, Chicago, Illinois program that I started is 710. It was based off my birthday, July the 10th, which was just the other day. I'm also a coach with the Mac Urban Fire, EYBL and junior EYBL, high school varsity coach at Bloom Township, Chicago Heights, Illinois.
So let me ask you this. So obviously coaching AAU high school is a bit different. What would you say the fundamental difference is between those two things?
I would believe that the fundamental difference between the two, in my honest opinion, is probably accountability in culture. With my younger kids, I try to make sure they had a foundation with the accountability part and understanding the basketball culture. For me, it's more important than winning and losing. It's understanding how to win and how to be a winner and how to also take your losses and lumps. But building a basketball culture just meaning like having a high motor, being respectful of the teammates, your teammates, how to be a part of the game even when you're not on the floor. All those things, I think that's why one thing I pride on with my development program on the high school level and the higher level. I think it just comes up to the guys who wanted more, the reps, and also that buy-in. But you definitely need that foundation with that accountability.
Okay, so talk to me about your playing days, man.
Man, my playing days are long gone now. The other day I just turned 40, but I did play high school varsity basketball for 3 years. I attended Homewood Flossmoor in Bloom Township. I then went to junior college, was a JUCO All-American. After junior college, I went down to the University of South Florida, played at South Florida. After South Florida, played overseas, bounced around, also did some semi-pro things, and then got into being an entrepreneur and then got into coaching.
So I'm gonna ask you a controversial question. Do you think a coach that never played the game should be coaching?
I would say a person who never played the game is going to be really hard for you to coach because it's the details and everything that make you great and separate yourself. Not saying that you can't be a volunteer, but head coaching is a little bit different because you got to have a vision. And in order to make your program or even players successful or develop at a high rate, you got to have some type of previous experience yourself, whether it's a guard, a big, different details on how to footwork and spacing and things about pick and roll, which way you should be turning. It's a lot of things that we spent a lot of time as basketball players doing film and in practice and drilling and running, coaches running you to death through the discipline of the game that I would say you have to have some experience of playing.
I seen you coach, I seen your intensity level. You one of the guys that had the intensity level. Things get a little chippy on the sidelines a little bit every now and then. So with that being said, how do you preach to your kids to keep their composure, and how do you keep yours sometimes? Because it's hard as a competitor, because you're a competitor.
For sure, for sure. I'm glad you said that. First of all, it's all about competing. That's what I try to teach my kids. That's one of the things that we have on the wall in our gym is every day come and compete. It don't matter what it is. If you come and I call your name off the bench, you should be one of the first person want to run out there. But also helping to understand it's safe to have battles in competing. Good wars. All of the greats and all of the good players who are successful, they like to compete on a high level. You want to be first, but you also understand how to take your losses and you learn from your losses. So for me, the discipline in it and accountability, like we spoke about, is really important because you understand I lost the game. If I would have done one thing different, we might have won this game. If I'm competing at my highest level and get on the floor, we could have won this game. So I guess that's where it comes from. So I am a fierce competitor. Boxing was my first sport, so I was an individual sport, so I got some of that dog in me. And I try to teach that to my kids, how to compete individually, but also for the better of the team, doing whatever the team needs.
You're an entrepreneur. You got several basketball things going on. You played the game. What's next, bro? What's next for you? What's your vision, man?
Man, my overall vision is to just keep growing this. This was my baby that kind of was birthed during COVID. I was kind of volunteering and helping, but then when I got around, Rube, like you just spoke of, it's guys that I saw that didn't know the game or wasn't teaching the kids right, or trying to teach grassroots kids how to be NBA players, and that's skipping so many things. because it's so much fundamentals and so many things that you need to make that full meal. Everybody just want to get to the table and eat, but they don't understand that how you have to sometimes, you got to put the seasoning in there, let everything sit and let the flavor get there to have the opportunity to even be able to start to cook and eat. So I just want to make sure that that's what I'm doing in my programs, and I want to keep growing that. Eventually want to have my own gym and have a center that I can have, really focusing in on that, not so much, again, like I say, the winning is great, but really just making sure we're teaching the basketball culture the right way.
Overall, what makes a good tournament? Like, that's where I'm trying to get better myself.
Right. So in my opinion, things that make a great tournament is, number one, you got to have media behind it, because that's like what the new thing, the wave, and that's just on the business aspect, speaking from an entrepreneur spirit. You got to have the media behind it. You got to have the right groups there, because those groups bring you to buy in and draw in of the other good teams. They want to come battle and beat this guy or whatever. And then either some of the lesser developed teams, they want to be where those good teams are at. Even if they're not playing those teams, they want to be in the same facility. Another great thing is having great people like yourself. One of the reasons I believe in your program, I seen you from year one when you were in Linwood, and I really appreciate how you handled the business, how you were respectful, how you made sure you were in a clean tournament, no bias. You weren't trying to get the guys who had the big name in the championships. You let the chips fall the way they fall. The way you treat the clientele that comes in and out the door. And of course, man, look at this dope backdrop. You gotta have a look, right? You gotta have the aesthetic. So, and I think one thing that can always help anybody is that building those relationships. Having teams like us and our programs and other programs had to buy in to continue to come again. So you want to make sure that you're getting that longevity and getting the buyback from your customer, the customer being the other programs. But you run a really nice program, a really nice tournament. Always have great people at the door, because that's what it started off with. Because I've seen a lot of tournaments where the door is so nasty that you come in with the wrong mindset yourself, and your guard is up, and it might not be a representation. So anybody who throwing these tournaments, do like Ruben doing, because he putting the right people at the door. I felt welcome like a family. They was happy to see us. They was telling us where we need to go, and that's where it starts, from the door.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. I appreciate your time, man. We went long, but, man, this was good, man.
I appreciate you having us, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
No doubt. Respect.
Yep.